Hi, my name is Jacob, and I want to share the story of how my life changed forever. It's not just a story about learning English. It's a story about transforming who I am and creating a future I never thought was possible. It all started on an ordinary day. I was sitting in my small apartment, staring at a blank screen, feeling stuck and unmotivated. I wanted so much more from life, but I didn't know where to start. I thought to myself, is this it? Is this all my life is going to be? That question sparked something inside me, a tiny spark of hope and determination. I decided that day to change, to take control of my story. The first step was the hardest. I knew I had to improve my English, not just for better opportunities, but to connect with the world in a way I never had before. But where do you begin when you feel so far behind? I started small. I picked up a book, a simple graded reader, and promised myself I would read just one page every day. That's all, one page. At first, it was frustrating. I didn't understand every word, and I felt embarrassed by how slow my progress was. But then I remembered something my grandmother used to say. Every great journey begins with a single step. So I kept going. Day by day, word by word, I built a new habit. And something incredible happened. I began to believe in myself. One day I was reading a story about a man who overcame incredible odds to achieve his dreams. That story inspired me to reflect on my own life. If he could do it, why couldn't I? I realized that the only thing standing in my way was my mindset. I had to stop making excuses and start taking action. So I did. I set small, achievable goals for myself. I practiced speaking English out loud, even if it was just to my reflection in the mirror. I listened to podcasts, wrote down new words, and started talking to people online. It wasn't easy, but every step I took made me stronger and more confident. And here's the best part. As my English improved, so did my life. I got a better job, made new friends from around the world, and found opportunities I never dreamed of. But most importantly, I discovered that I had the power to change my story all along. This is just the beginning of my journey, and I want to take you along for the ride. Together, we'll explore how you can create your own story of transformation. Stay with me, and let's change your life. One step at a time. Let me take you back to another moment that changed everything. It was the first time I had the courage to speak English with someone I didn't know. I remember it vividly. I was at a small cafe and a tourist asked me for directions. My heart was pounding, my palms were sweaty, and for a second, I thought about pretending I didn't understand. But then I remembered my promise to myself, to take action no matter how scared I felt. I took a deep breath and said, "Go straight, then turn left." It wasn't perfect, but the tourist smiled and said, "Thank you." That smile was all the encouragement I needed. For the first time, I felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. It might seem like a small moment, but to me, it was proof that I could do it. After that, I started seeking out more opportunities to practice. I joined a local English club where people came together to share stories and learn from each other. At first, I was nervous. I worried that people would judge my accent or laugh at my mistakes. But what I found was the opposite. Everyone was supportive and encouraging because they were on the same journey as me. I also started keeping a journal. Each day I wrote about my experiences, my challenges, and the progress I was making. Writing helped me organize my thoughts and see how far I'd come. It became a safe space where I could celebrate my successes and learn from my failures. One of the most important lessons I learned during this time was the power of consistency. It wasn't about being perfect. It was about showing up every single day, even when I didn't feel like it. Whether it was practicing for 5 minutes or an hour, every effort counted. And with each passing day, I could feel my confidence growing. What about you? Are there small steps you can take today to move closer to your dreams? Maybe it's speaking up in class, writing your thoughts in English, or joining a group of learners like I did. Whatever it is, don't wait. Start now. Because the truth is, the more you practice, the better you'll become. And the better you become, the more opportunities you'll create for yourself. In the next part, I'll share how these small actions began to open doors I never imagined. Stay with me. The best is yet to come. Now, let me share how everything began to change. It started with a job interview I thought I would never get. The company was looking for someone who could communicate in English and work with international clients. When I first saw the job posting, I hesitated. Thoughts like, "You're not good enough," and "They'll never choose you," filled my mind. But then I remembered how far I had come. I reminded myself of the promise I made to never let fear hold me back again. I spent days preparing. I practiced answering common interview questions in English, recorded myself speaking, and even asked a friend to do a mock interview with me. By the time the interview day arrived, I was nervous but determined. I walked into the room, smiled, and introduced myself with confidence. The interviewer asked me to share a little about myself and my experience. I spoke slowly and clearly, using the words and phrases I had practiced. And you know what? They didn't care about my mistakes. They were more impressed by my effort, my willingness to communicate, and my positive attitude. By the end of the interview, I felt proud of myself, no matter the outcome. A few days later, I got the call. "Congratulations, Jacob. We'd like to offer you the position." Those words changed my life. It was more than just a job. It was proof that hard work and persistence truly pay off. That job became a turning point. It gave me the confidence to take on bigger challenges, to dream even bigger. I started traveling for work, meeting people from different countries, and learning about their cultures. Each conversation, each new experience, made me realize the power of language and connection. But the most rewarding part was being able to give back. I started volunteering at a local community center, helping others who were just beginning their English journey. Sharing my story and encouraging them to keep going became my way of saying thank you to everyone who had supported me. As I look back, I see how one decision, the decision to take that first step, set everything else in motion. And that's the message I want to leave with you. Your journey might seem overwhelming right now, but it's the small, consistent actions that lead to the biggest changes. In the final part, I'll share the lessons I've learned and how you can apply them to your own life. Together, we'll take the next step toward creating your own success story. As I wrap up my story, I want to share the most important lessons I've learned along the way. These are not just lessons for learning English, they are lessons for life, and I hope they inspire you to take the next step in your own journey. First, never underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. Progress might feel slow at first, but every step you take adds up. Whether it's learning a new word, practicing a conversation, or simply showing up every day, these small actions lead to big results over time. Remember, success isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Second, embrace failure as part of the process. There were so many times I made mistakes, felt embarrassed, or thought about giving up. But looking back, I see that those moments were where I grew the most. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone toward it. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Learn from them and keep moving forward. Third, surround yourself with positivity. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environment you create all influence your mindset. Seek out supportive friends, inspiring stories, and opportunities to grow. And if you ever feel stuck, remember that asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Finally, believe in yourself. This might be the hardest lesson of all, but it's also the most important. There will be times when doubt creeps in, when you question whether you're capable of achieving your goals. In those moments, remind yourself of how far you've come and how much you've already overcome. Trust in your ability to succeed. As I look back on my journey, I'm filled with gratitude. Gratitude for the people who supported me, for the challenges that pushed me, and for the courage to take that first step. And now it's your turn. What will your story be? What dreams will you chase? What changes will you make? The path ahead might not be easy, but it will be worth it. Take that first step today. Start small, stay consistent, and never stop believing in yourself. Because the truth is, you have the power to change your life, just like I did, and I can't wait to see where your journey takes you. Thank you for listening to my story. Now it's time to create your own. If you like this story, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.